The run method of the class thread is the heart of multithreading in Java. We already have used the run method in the previous videos of this session. In this video, we are going to do some experiments with the run method. Namaste everyone, I am Gyan and you are watching the session 20 of Java and Web, multithreading in Java. The run method is actually present in the runnable interface. The class thread implements the runnable interface, and the class thread implements the run method. And the class thread also have the start method. When we create our own class, the class name myThread, which extends the class thread, then we need to override the run method of the class thread, and we need to call the start method of the class thread. We do not override the start method, we just call the start method, but we override the run method. How to implement multithreading in Java just by using the runnable interface, we will see this concept in the later videos of this session. So to implement multithreading, we need to create a class, say myThread, this one. Then override the run method of the class thread in the class myThread. Whatever the code is present inside the overridden run method, that code executes in a separate thread, other than the thread main. We already know this concept. In the java.lang.thread class, we have empty implementation of the run method. If you do not override the run method, nothing is going to be executed in the newly created thread. It is not actually empty implementation of run method in the class thread, but whatever the implementation it is in the run method of the class thread, it is effectless and does nothing effective. We are not going to the source code of the class thread and see how the method run is implemented in the class thread, but you can just remember that however the run method is implemented in the class thread, that is effectless in the output. This is the similar code as we have seen in the previous videos of this session. Here we are overriding the run method in the class myThread, but in the body of the run method we have written nothing. That's how when we call t.start, it will start the new thread, it will execute the run method in the newly created thread, but at the same time, since there is nothing in the body of the run method, it will execute nothing, as the method main is the entry point of the main thread. Similarly, the method run is the entry point of the newly created thread. Of course, instead of calling t.start, if you call t.run, then it will not create a new thread, and the overridden run method will execute in the thread main. We can overload run method, but the start method executes only no argument run in the newly created thread. You can see here in this example, the method run is inherited from the class thread and overridden here. And there is an overloaded method run in the class myThread, which accepts integer I as its argument. So the class myThread has two methods whose name is run. Two overloaded methods run. In the method main, when we call the method start of the class myThread, it will start a new thread and will execute the no argument run method. It will not execute any other run method. It will only execute the no argument run method in the newly created thread. That's why when we execute this code, it will print no arg run method. Here in this case, we are calling t.run and then we are calling t.run with 5 as its argument. Here both the run methods will execute in the main thread, because a new thread will not be created just because we are not calling the start method. That's why these two run methods will execute in the main thread. When we call t.run, it will print no arg run, and when we call t.run with 5 as its argument, it will print run with argument. Therefore, hopefully you got my point. That's all for this video, guys. Don't forget to like and share this video, subscribe my channel on YouTube, like my page on Facebook, and leave your valuable comments in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.